I'll be the monster you've been wanting, but they will see me when I'm coming. I'll be laughing while you're running. Oh, you won't see me when I'm coming. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? This is the month October. It's Halloween, and it is people's birthdays. Happy birthday to people who is born in October, especially October 7th. Happy birthday! Yo, welcome back to another review of Power Book 2, Season 1, Episode, what is this, 5? I don't know. What is episode? Yep. Okay. There you have it. Tasha is having a nightmare. She's dreaming she's with her children and she's celebrating Tariq's birthday. And Raina comes to the door and she's happy to see her baby girl, Raina. And she comes to and realize it was nothing but a dream. When Tasha comes to, she looks at the family photo and she calls Tyrique. Basically rushes his mother off the phone, and it hits me. Basically, Tasha, half her family is dead. Her husband is gone and her daughter is gone. So she basically only got Tyrique and the little girl. And that is so sad. To spending your time in jail on your son's birthday for something you did not do, and your son won't even confess out of the goodness of his heart. Such a tragedy. Cooper Saxe is so worried that he is gonna be outed. He pops up at Tamika's house and try to convince her not to testify with his criminal gloves on. I thought he was gonna strangle Tamika with those gloves. And Tamika tell him that he is going to be effed up because she have no choice but to testify, and she tried to convince him to drop the charge against Tasha because we all know Tasha is not the queen bee, and he don't want to do it because it's out of his hand. She was like, why not? You are the U.S. District Attorney. Why you can't do it? Go figure. You telling me those people have more power over the U.S. District Attorney? I guess, according to Saxe. At this point, Monet is coaching her daughter on how to manipulate men. And she tell her you cannot depend on your cookie because you're not going to really get far. A man needs to be able to depend on you. And she basically shows her daughter how to destroy one's spirit, esteem, and I really am not for coaching your children on how to manipulate and control people. That is too much for me, and I'm not with it. So, Officer Rodriguez shows us at the door, and Monet basically shattered his self-esteem. She like, you don't respect my boundaries. You need to call. He want to get in. She like, she not opening the door. You have to call before you pop up. And you are not respecting my boundary. And I felt so bad for Officer Rodriguez because he really want to love this lady. And she think it's all a game. And he felt like a wounded dog. And he turns away with his ego on the floor. Stomped on the ground by Molly. And I'm like, Rodriguez, if he don't learn nothing from this and not to go back to Monet, if you go back, you get everything you deserve, because at the end of the day, time after time, she keeps showing you and keep hurting your feelings and keep belittling you, and you keep returning back. So who fault is that would be your own? Because you need to find somebody else who's gonna be with you. And I do not promote trying to manipulate and control people. I be like, people who want to play games, do that on a PlayStation or an Xbox. If you really want to play games and mess with somebody's emotions, not with people real lives. Kane is in the car with Tyrique, and he about to drop Tyrique off at Monique's house, and they both spot Rodriguez leaving the house, and Tyrique is putting a bug in Kane's ear and like, why is he here at your mom's house, and what is he's taking from his mom? And Kane is wondering what is really going on, and Kane is not aware, and he is in the dark that Rodriguez is sleeping with Monet. So his mind is wondering right now. Kane is in his emotions because he is hollering at his mother, and his mother telling him, you better fall back before you do something you regret. And Diana actually takes him away, and he also checks, and they conversate. She tried to get information out of him about the drawing, and he is staying loyal to Drew, and she could not get nothing out of him, and he said he had to go because he got to meet Sax. So Tyrique actually meets Sax, and they chopping it up about how Tamika knows that Tyrique saw Sax Cooper at Truth. In reality, she don't know that Tyrique saw Sax at Truth, but this is what he is putting the bug in Tyrique's ear. Now Tyrique is like panicking just like anybody else, and Tyrique calls his mom and try to convince her to tell Tamika not to testify, and she said she was gonna do it, and she's gonna talk to Davis about it, and he's trying to convince his mother that he cares, and if he have to tell the truth, he would have to stand up, and he will. And Tyrique don't give a damn about his mother, because he'd rather have his mother sit in jail and rot to death. So Riley and Sax is meeting up with each other, and Sax is eager to get this information that Riley had, and Riley really don't have any information. Sax think he's sleeping with Tyrique, and she's saying she's not sleeping with Tyrique, but actually sleeping with the roommate in the same apartment as Tyrique. And she gives him a little bit of information that his grandmother keep asking him for money. And that's all that she had for Sax. And Sax want her to keep on digging. I said this information is going to get Sax in trouble, because she is in the same facility with Tyrique. And if that's not an obsession, I don't know what is. There you have it. Tyrique late to another class once again, and he was supposed to turn in a 15-page paper, and the Professor Reynolds is not accepting it and want a 25-page paper. Well, that is college life, and that's exactly what they do sometimes. When a paper is late, they might change it to more extra papers. That is college life. And there you have it. You have Tasha talking to Davis and trying to convince him to have Tamika not testify, and he does not listen to his client and says Tamika will be testifying. Do you not want to go home? I be like, hell yeah, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. Have you ever been to Record Alley? Record Alley is not pretty nice. No, it's not nice at all. I'm like, this is an example. Stay the hell out of jail, because you don't want to be here. Professor Reynolds is lecturing Tyrique about on being responsible, and Tyrique tell Professor Reynolds, like, back off, you're not my dad. I already had a dad. So stop bugging me. You heard me? And I was like, Professor Reynolds needs to take his own advice, because his life is freaking falling apart. His life is like I don't know. What do you call it? Something that's hard on the outside but crappy on the inside, smushy, and it's not in a good way. Tyrique is talking to Drew, chopping it up that Monet was trying to get information on who the dude was, and Drew tell him that his whole family know that he is gay. It's not a secret, and she was just only testing him to see who he was loyal to. And he told him to look out for himself. And I say at this point, that's only what Tyrique is doing, looking out for himself and not caring about no goddamn body. I guess when you is in this lifestyle, that's all that you can do is look out for yourself. Monet is talking to Diana, and she tells Diana she cannot count on the boys, and she have to count on her, and want Diana to get information from Tyrique, and she have to hold it down now. And she tells her not to get caught up. Well, if you're using your coochie and your penis, you're bound to get caught up in one way or another. That's how it all starts. One don't care about the other, but once they start bringing it and smashing it together, people, emotions get involved when it comes to sex. So how do you plan not to get caught up if you having sex? And Riley is in a liquor store. He is trying to get liquor for the party. Riley is basically bombarding him with questions about Tyrique, and she's really pissing Brayden off. He like, enough, stop obsessing over my roommate. Okay, I'm trying to plan a party. You stressing me the hell out. He like, yo, what's up? So Zeke comes in and introduces himself to Brayden. And here you go, Riley throwing her coochie to Zeke a little bit, and Brayden noticed and pulls her back into his side. He was like, come through to the party. I'm throwing Tyrique a birthday badge. Just come through. Jabari is having a meeting with his agent, and his agent is basically crapping all over Jabari. He is not pleased with his work, and he wants Jabari to produce a hit book. His first book was a hit. Everybody cried. Tyrique comes in and sees Jabari and want to hand it in his 25-page paper. I was like, damn, that was quick. Because me, it would have took me 2 weeks to hand in that 25-page paper. He surely did that fast. And his agent tells him if he don't produce anything, he will be dropped as a client because he is competing with white writers, and Jabari writing is not up to par to the white writers. I said Jabari felt like crap at that point. Tasha calls Tyrique once again and saying that Tamika is going to have to testify, and Tyrique basically tried to guilt trip his mom, saying that, oh, if she testified, he's going to have to go to jail. If he have to stand up and testify, that he will have to stand up and do it. At this point, Tyrique is full of crap, and he's a bad liar and a bad actor at this point. Because we can all see right through him. And I do not feel bad for Tasha, because when you raise your son with bad morals, how do you expect them to have good morals? Please explain that to me. So at this point, Tyrique shows up at Tamika's house to talk to her. She want to know, what do you want? He was like, I have to tell you something, that I saw Sax at Truth that day. It was him. All I can say is Tamika did not have knowledge of who saw Sax at Truth. And he just basically provided a whole lot of information that he did not need to. And then Tyrique tries or plans to try to kill Tamika and fails because David McClain comes to Tamika's house and he want to know who's there. He tells us that she's a bad liar, and he just like on in her house on his own. And she's like, why do everybody know where I live? Because I guess you the best lawyer to have. when you the best, people gonna know when you wanna live at. and she tells him that she gotta tell him something, and Tariq slips out the door. So Tariq is out the door of Tamika's house, and he receives a text from Brayden. So Tariq actually goes to the frat house, and it's a big party, and everybody says surprise. Hey, hey, don't do it. And Brayden's brother actually spills a drink on Tariq, and Tariq is angry, and he don't watch out. Next time he gonna catch these hands. You heard? And Tariq goes to clean it up, the drink off of him, and Riley is still asking her boyfriend all these questions, and he says stop it. He says holds my cup so he could go check on Tariq. And what does Riley do? She puts drugs in the cup with the juice. And at this point, she just racked up charges for her and Cooper Sacks. Tasha calls Tariq and tell her that she's going to take it from here, and tell him don't worry, enjoy the rest of his life. And she called David McClain and tell her that she wanted to take a plea deal. For people in jail, don't discuss anything over the phone. If you want to speak to your lawyer, wait until your lawyer comes in person. If you want to take a plea deal, say that in person, not over the phone, so your lawyer could be able to change your mind just in case. Zeke and Drew come through to Tariq's party to wish him a happy birthday, and Tariq was gonna leave, but they convinced him to stay. And then here come Diana coming through, getting rid of the girl that was already there that he was talking to. She like, bye, because I'm here now. You did? And she began to talk to the Tyrique, and and they basically disappear somewhere together. Drew runs into Ep, and Ep act like he don't know Drew, and Drew is feeling hurt at this point, and he basically go chase after Ep to see what the hell is going on. Tariq actually witnessed what was going on. He peeked everything. Tyrique comes in to check on Jabari and asks him what he's doing, and Jabari is supposed to be writing a book, but he actually looking at shoes. At this point, Jabari has writer's block, and he can't write another book. And they both talk about his first book, how it motivated everybody, and what he wrote about was true. And she tells him that right was in front of you. And Jabari want to write about Carrie. He want to do something with Carrie. And actually, Carrie actually grew strength and turned Jabari down. She said this have to come to a closure, and you gotta find another inspiration, and I am not it. I said the only reason Jabari wanted her to stay so he could bone her like usual. Tyrique is putting a bug in Diana's ears and more worried about his brother, and he want her to go find her brother. And she like, why you so worried about my brother? That's Officer Rodriguez gave him a car if they ever get stopped by the police. And here comes Lauren. She shows up, and Brady comes to Tyrique and says Lauren is here, and actually gives him the cup that Riley put the drugs in, and he ditches Diana. So Diana just standing there by herself alone. So Lauren and Tyrique actually goes to the room to talk, and Tyrique is faded. And it's not due to the alcohol, but due to the drugs. So Lauren actually leaves. So Riley actually takes advantage of this moment and tracks his phone to her phone. And I said, more freaking charges Riley is racking up. So actually, Riley comes out the room after she does what she does, and Braden's brother catches her leaving the room with Tyrique. She was like, I was checking on him because he was ill. And the brother is so drunk, he says crazy things to Riley, and she tell him he's an idiot. And he actually throws Tyrique out his room. Drew is getting on F about how he feel and how he's affected, how he's treating him. And clearly, Drew knows that he is an undercover gay. He don't want to come out because he's on the basketball team. And he comes later to find out that he is Zeke's cousin. And Zeke is on the same basketball team as Ev. And Ev is upset and he leaves out of the car. I just don't understand, why do open gay people always find gay people who is in the closet? I don't understand why y'all don't find gay people who are open and willing to have a relationship with you. This is becoming a storyline for every show, and it's like really there's no other gay person that want to fall in love with another open gay person. Zeke runs into Professor Milgrams and he compliments her on her glasses and he tells her about all her troubles and she's interested and listening to about his mama, his daddy, and how he lived with his aunt. And I said, Professor Milgrams got a weak spot for people who got baggage or trouble or some issues. That's what it look like. And Zeke makes his move on Professor Milgrams and go for the kill. They is in the bathroom and he is laying the pipe down. And homegirl is enjoying it. And you know, Professor Milgrams cannot say no to the pipe because she has a sex addiction. I guess she don't care where she get it, long as she get it. But clearly, I heard it through TV. He laid the pipe down, and I think she liked it. I said, long as this information don't get out to Jabari, because I feel like Jabari is not a murderer now, he will become murderer. Because I feel like he think Carrie belongs to him, and Carrie is his. So, you know, men don't like other men messing with their woman. Tyrique is stumbling all through the party, and Brayden is asking him. Brayden want to know if he's alright, and Tyrique basically yelled at Brayden. He like, I ain't want no daggone party and stuff like that. And his roommate felt some kind of way. He managed to stumble onto Diana because she was sitting outside, and she want to know why she's sitting outside. While he's talking to Diana, Diana noticed a weapon in his bag, and she gets the weapon out of his bag. So he leaves. So what you say now, Jabari is in desperation to get a hit for a book, so he gonna take the word from his student. I like, dude, you know you gonna get caught, cause Tyrique know that he wrote the paper and the agent saw you take the paper from Tyrique at the cafe. Okay, so we all gonna know that you stole the paper and his words from Tyrique. Ronnie is basically confessing to her uncle Cooper Sacks that what she has done. She has drugged Tyrique and tracked his phone, and he want to know where he went so he could go find him. Tyrique happened to stumble to the graveyard arena, and he is confessing and pouring out how he feel, how it should have been him and not her. She should be alive to celebrate her birthday, and then he moves on to his father's grave. And then he confessed how mama is sitting in jail, and it's because of him, and says, I have done it, you made me do it. And then you have Cooper Sacks taping it. It is the next day, and Tyrique comes to because Brayden has an attitude, and he expresses himself like he is the female in the relationship and like they are a married couple. He's like, I threw that party and you don't even appreciate it. You don't never tell me where you go, and you don't even give me credit for the act when credit is due. And Tyrique says, my bad, and he tells him about the family, the Tejada family, the Lorenzo, who is the king, Monet is the queen. I'm sorry, I don't know these chess pieces. All I know Diana is the bishop. And the other two is what they are. I don't know what the hell they are. But he let them know. And he says, and the roommate is happy of what he's here. Diana and Monet is having a conversation. She was like, I have something. I have some information. I have this gun. Monet basically degrades her daughter and says, you need to think and you will not be able to do anything without me. So she basically calling her daughter stupid and really can't function and think without her mama. Which I think is not really nice to downgrade your children, but that's what she does. So Tyrique goes to Monet's house and he stands there before him. Kane actually pats him down and he has no weapon, and he was like, and Monet is like, and what children could I trust? And he says me. So Monet sees Tyrique as family. Monet tells Kane to give Tyrique the burner, and he really don't want to do it. Kane ain't really happy about these choices, but what can he do? He really ain't got no say. Davis McClain actually goes sees Cooper Sack, and he said, I know the truth that you was at truth the day of Ghost murder. And Sachs reveals to him the recording that Tyrique is confessing something at his father's grave. Because he said, you made me do it, I had to do it, I had to do it. They basically go on a deal together. They know Tasha is not the guilty party, and they know it's Tyrique, and they gonna work out a deal where she can get off and they can go get Tyrique. And he know he cannot use that evidence because it's inadmissible in court because he have no search warrant to record it. I mean, he can't use it because if that video gets out that he record, Cooper Sack's plan to get evidence and he know what to look for. I said Cooper Sacks is crazy because what he recorded is not a confession. Tyrique ain't never said, I killed you, Ghost. I killed you, Father. I killed you. He just said, I did it. You made me do it. That means he could have made him bury Drury in a backyard. What's your point? And basically, he got a video of him being delusional or drugged because his niece drugs him. And if anybody get a hold of Sachs' phone, he gonna be in big trouble. Because this is evidence that he is stalking the St. Patrick family. And Cooper Sacks, you gonna be in jail for all the laws you have been broken. It should have not been called Power. I think this show should have been called The Power Book, The Asylum. That everybody on this show is delusional and crazy. Everybody think they got evidence. Everybody think, oh my God, everybody think they doing something and they really doing nothing. I think they should give Tamika more roles because the scenes are better with her in it. Tamika is holding this show down and she's carrying this show on her back so far. And right now, I'm not really pleased with Power Book 2. It is not my favorite right now. And we're going to see when it comes back in December what is going on. I hope it gets better. Well, like, comment, and subscribe. Hey. We don't run, we don't bend, we don't fall. Where my gangsters at? Where my gangsters at? Where my gangsters at?